Okay, everybody. So this is Congruence Objective 2, and this is actually going to be the first of two videos. This is the video where I'm going to give you guys the notes over the things that you need to know. And really, this is going to be about, these are called congruence theorems. So these are all ways that we can prove that two triangles are congruent. Now, I've got a whole list over here. And these, we're going to call this the yes list. We're going to call this the no list. You're welcome to write those things down. I'm going to go through each one of them. So yes means that these 5 theorems are all ways that we can prove two triangles are congruent. Let's talk about the first one first. All right, so side, side, side. This is the very first one, and we're going to call that SSS. Now, if I have two triangles, and the information that's given to me is that all the sides, all the corresponding sides, so that'd be this one, and then this one, and then this one. So what those marks mean is that these two sides are congruent. They're the exact same length. These two sides are congruent. They're the exact same length. And these two sides are congruent. They're the exact same length. So if I know those things and I don't know anything else, I don't have to know anything about the angles, those two triangles must be congruent. So really what that means, and this is really important, is that there is no possible way to have two triangles that share the same 3 sides and that aren't congruent. It doesn't matter how you arrange the sides, they always are going to be congruent. So that's our first rule. So side, side, side. If you can ever show side, 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 then you automatically know that the two triangles are congruent. The next one is going to be, let's see, side, angle, side. This one's really common. Side, angle, side. We also call that SAS. Now let's draw myself two triangles again. Let's say it look like that this time. Those aren't very close. Let's make it look a little bit closer. There we go. So if I know that any two sides and the side in between them, okay, so let's mark that. Let's mark two sides. Let's say these two are congruent and the angle in between. If I know that those things are congruent, so again, let's mark this. So that means that this side and this side are congruent. That means that this side and this side are congruent, and it means that this angle and this angle are congruent. If I know those 3 things, I don't have to know anything else. I don't have to know the other 2 angles. I don't have to know the 2 sides, but those 2 have to be congruent every single time. Now, the next one, and as I would very much encourage you guys in any notes that you're going to take to draw little pictures. The sketches really help. Actually, let's see what I had up here. I had angle, angle, side. So angle, angle, side, which is AAS. Now, the order doesn't really matter. So you certainly could do SAA, side, angle, angle, and angle, angle, side are the exact same thing. All right, so let's draw two triangles again. And it doesn't really matter what the triangles look like. This always works. All right, so now if I know two angles, so let's say I know that angle, and I know that angle, and then a side. So let's say that this side and this side are the same. So if I know those things, so let's mark them again. Let's go side, and we'll do an angle, and then we'll do another angle. Now again, I don't need to know anything else. I don't need to know any of the other sides or the angles. I don't need to know anything. right now, I know that those two are congruent, just based on those three things. Okay, the next one is going to be angle side angle. I know, guys, that you're kind of getting to this thing where you're like, McSparron, kind of just seems like any three things will work. That's not true. I'm showing you the ones that do work, and then I'm going to show you the couple that don't. So let's say now I have triangles like that. All right, so now let's say this. So let's go angle. So let's say I've got an angle and then a side. So let's say it's the long side. Doesn't really matter which side as long as it's between the angles. And then angle. All right, so that would be angle. And notice that these kind of always go in order, guys. You got to go around the triangle in order. Side, angle. If I have those three things, no matter what the other sides, what I know about the other sides, those have to be congruent. All right, now, oh, there's one more. There's a special one. Kind of. This one's kind of weird. So HL is hypotenuse leg. So we call that HL. Now, this is a special case because this must be right triangles. So, cannot use hypotenuse leg unless you know that your triangles are right triangles. Okay? A hypotenuse leg, remember the hypotenuse is the long side and the leg. Hello, Mr. Gorley, how are you?
Hi, guys.
Everybody say hi to Mr. Gorley. Oh, it's just a video. They can't talk back to you. Okay, so if you know Mr. Gorley and you watch the video, you have to leave class and go say hi to him. All right, so hypotenuse leg. If I know those things, if I know, first off, you have to have a right angle, and then you have to have the same hypotenuse and one leg the same. If I just know those three pieces of information, then I know they have to be congruent. Now, some of you out there might be like, yo, McSparron, this looks an awful lot like it's just angle side side. And you would be right. Hypotenuse leg is sort of just a fancy weird way to do angle side side. Okay, now the ones that don't work. Here, we'll draw a red line, like a red scary line. The ones that don't work. Maybe. Red. Dun, dun, dun. Really important to know which ones don't work, guys. Okay, so the first one, angle, angle, angle. Angle, angle, angle. Triple A. All right. So let's say I've got two. Now, I could have two triangles with all three angles the same. Oh, dang it. I don't want that. This is totally possible, guys. That I could have two triangles with three angles the same that are not congruent. Now, here's the real kicker, and here's where they'll try and trick you, is that sometimes angle, angle, angles, they could be congruent triangles, but they don't always have to be congruent triangles. So I'm going to write this in. Do not have to be congruent. It doesn't mean they're not congruent. They still could be, but we don't know for sure unless we also know a side. So if you ever have angle, 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 and you're like, ooh, are they congruent? You need to find out one of the sides. That will give you the key to whether they are congruent or not. All right, oh, and then we have the infamous. So infamous. Oops, dang it. What am I doing? Side, angle, angle. Oh, yikes. SAA. No, wait. No, wait. Guys, yell at your computer. Yell at it right now. Side angle does work. It's side angle that doesn't work. And you may have realized that if I spell it backwards, it turns out to be that word. And that word doesn't work. Okay? This one, these do not have to be congruent. So I want to show you something. Because what I could have is I could have this, all right? So I could have that triangle, and I could actually draw, oh wait, how does this work? Yeah. So I could draw, let's see. So it is possible for me to make two triangles where you have a side, another side, and an angle that are all congruent, right? So this side is the same as this side is the same as this side, this angle is the same as this angle, but they are obviously not congruent. They don't have to be like not congruent, but we cannot prove congruence with just this. We need to know more. We would need to know another side. We need to know another angle. We can't prove congruence with just this. Okay, so let's scroll all the way back to the top. And so it is really important for you guys to be able to recognize within two triangles, if I know any of these things, then I automatically know that they are yes congruent. If I only know these things, we can't know for sure. It's still possible, but we can't know for sure. Need more information. Info. Okay, so that's it. On the next video, I'm going to work through some actual problems.